Hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new video today or to a new live stream. Bienvenidos a un nuevo en vivo. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing well. Today, we are going to talk about how to write dates in Spanish. I talked about this previously. But I had some technical difficulties or some technical issues, so I wanted to redo this lesson, and that's why we're doing this today. And please remember, before we get started, remember to subscribe and also click on the bell icon so you can get notified every time I live stream. Also, visit smlessons.com for more free Spanish lessons. If you want to download free stuff as well, you can do that on smlessons.com. I also have all the links in the video description down below. And I want to give a big shout out to Quebec and Stella Sabatini. They are Cafecito members. Thank you. I really thank you, Quebec and Stella Sabatini. Thank you so much for the support for the coffee. Of course, the coffee is delicious and the support is greatly appreciated. If you like what I do, guys, please consider getting a membership on this channel. You only need to click on the join button down below. There are different perks when getting a membership, and they're all pretty good. They're pretty affordable, I would say. Okay, so today, as I was saying a few seconds ago, we're going to talk about dates, how to write dates in Spanish, okay? And we're live streaming, which means you can use the live chat if you have any questions about what we're talking about. And yeah, feel free to use the live chat for that. Or if you want to say hola, you can do that as well. Okay, so previously I showed you guys that there is a formula for this. There is a very easy formula. Because, in English, when you write a date is quite different than doing that in Spanish. In Spanish, we usually have día, mes, and año, which means day, month, and year, okay? Día means day, mes means month, and año means year. So that is what you need to know basically if you want to write a date in Spanish, okay? Even if you want to say it, if you want to say a date in Spanish, you can use this formula as well, okay? So that's a must. You need to learn this, or just remember that order, right? Okay, so if you don't know the days in Spanish, we will go over that really quickly. So you know how or you learn how to say dates in Spanish, okay? Or how to write dates in Spanish. Okay, so I'm just gonna show you the days first, because sometimes you need numbers for dates. Sometimes you need the actual day, the words. And hola, Sems Kirks. Hola, bienvenido. Thank you for tuning in. And okay, so let's go over the days of the week, okay, in Spanish. Maybe you know them, maybe you don't. So let's just go over that really quickly. So the first day is domingo. Domingo. That means Sunday. Okay? Then lunes. Lunes. That means Monday. Oops. Martes. Martes. That means Tuesday. Miércoles. Miércoles. That means Wednesday. jueves, jueves. That means Thursday. Viernes, viernes is Friday. And sábado, sábado, that means Saturday. So those are the days of the week in Spanish. Domingo, lunes, martes, miércoles, jueves, viernes, sábado. Okay? So that's really important to know when saying dates in Spanish. And one important thing is that you don't need to use a capital letter at the beginning of each day, okay? Because you see here in English, you have a capital letter at the beginning of the word of the day: Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. They're all like the beginning of the first letter is capitalized. But in Spanish, you don't need that. Grammatically, you should just use low caps, no capital letters, okay? When we're talking about the week, the days of the week. Okay, so that's something important to remember. Now, let's go over the months really quickly, okay? Because that's something important to know as well when, when saying the dates in Spanish. So, the first one is enero, January. Febrero, February. Marzo, that means March. Abril, that means April. Mayo, May. Junio, June. Julio, July. Agosto, August. Septiembre, September. Octubre, October. Noviembre, November. And lastly, Diciembre, December. Okay, those are the months that you need to know in order to say dates in Spanish. And so Linda Lead is on the live chat, and Linda says, I still can't roll my R's. It's challenging. I know it is challenging, but I actually have a video about that. It's not difficult. You just have to get used to that, okay? And if you practice, Linda, you're gonna do it. You're just gonna be rolling your R's really easily, okay? So it depends. I mean, you need to position your tongue in a certain way to actually be able to pronounce the letter R, okay? So check out my video on my channel about that specifically, because I think it's going to help you. By the way, welcome, Linda. Bienvenida. KS is also on the live chat. ¿Cómo estás viviendo? Hoy es martes, el 3 de octubre 2021. Usted es una bendición. Hello, KS. Thank you for your comment. I mean, I love that you guys say hola to me, and also that you practice your Spanish. I love it. Welcome, KS, and thank you for your comment. Okay, so very quickly, let's just say the 12 months again, okay, in Spanish. From top to bottom, feel free to repeat with me. Okay, so enero, febrero, marzo, abril, mayo, junio, julio, agosto, septiembre, octubre, noviembre, diciembre. Okay, so those are the months, the 12 months that we need to know. Excellent. Okay, now let's just let's go over some examples and let's see how this formula works. Día, mes y año. Okay, so very quickly, you can see you can have different kinds of dates. You can use numbers, just numbers, like the first example. We can see the first example right here is just numbers. Or you can actually say the day of the week and the month as well. Okay, so this one right here, that's today's date. Okay, this one right here. Well, both of them. So this, even though we have two twos, like right here and right here, we're still saying in Spanish that today is the day 2nd, okay? And the month is February, because February is the 2nd month of the year. And also we just have the year. So that's pretty straightforward. If you see this in Spanish, no big deal, but just remember that the first number is the day, okay? And then the month, and then the year. Now, let's look at the second one. The second one, we can see that it says martes, because today is Tuesday, martes. You can say the day first, the day of the week first, and then you can add a comma there. And then we have the number, because even though today is Tuesday, today is the 2nd, right? So dos, you don't say segundo, because that's ordinal numbers in Spanish. You only use the number primero, which means first, to refer to the first day of the month only, primero, okay? I'll show you an example really quickly, but in Spanish, you don't use ordinal numbers. You know, we don't say 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. We don't say that. We just say the number, unless we're talking about the day number 1, which is primero. I'll show you in a sec. Okay, so dos de febrero. This is the month. Oops, the month, febrero. Del 2021. 2021. So essentially, I'm saying 2021. In Spanish, we don't say 2021, for example, because in English, you can say that. 2021. The year is 2021. But in Spanish, we say the whole number as 1. 2021. And that means 2021. Okay, so that's very tricky and it's something important to remember. So, once again, you can have the day of the week. It's not necessary, but you can have it. And then, essentially, what is important here is this part here. This from here to here. Okay? Because we're saying 2 de febrero del 2021. Okay? So that's essentially the formula that we have here. Okay? Día, mes, and año. 2 is the day. De febrero. Well, febrero is the month and the year 2021. 2021. Okay. Another important thing to remember is these two words in between the whole sentence, the whole date, okay? You have to say 2 de, okay? 2 de febrero. In this case, that once again, that's the month. And then you have to say del. That's a short word because in Spanish we don't say de él. We short that, the two words de and él, and we say del, okay? That's another lesson. But just remember that you have to have this word del 2021, okay? So that's something important to remember. Now, if you have the first day of the month just like that, you don't have to add the st to make it ordinal. I've seen dates in Spanish and they don't add the st to make this number ordinal, first, to refer to the first day of the month. But when you read it out loud in Spanish, you should say, I'm just going to delete this part. And you have a date like this in Spanish, okay? So you would say, 1 de enero del 2021. 1 de febrero del 2021. That means, primero means first. And literally, you're saying 1st of February of 2021. Of the year 2021, 2021. So remember that the first day of the month in English, you can say primero. Instead of uno, just say primero. And then from there, you can change, if you have a different number, for example, let's say you have the 15th, you can say quince. Okay, you're not gonna use any ordinal numbers, no ordinal numbers, sorry. So you won't say the 50th. You don't say that. You say in Spanish, quince de febrero del 2021, okay? So that's something important to remember. The first day of the month is ordinal, an ordinal number, primero, and then the rest of the days or the rest of the numbers are just numbers. 15, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 15, 20, 31, okay? So that is something really important to remember. I see people on the live chat. William, welcome, William. William Lopez, hola, Sugar. I practiced my R sound by saying ronronear all the time. That's a great word to repeat in Spanish. Ronronear. And also William says 2021 o 2021. 2021. Okay, so that is the term. The first one that you said, William. 2021. 2021, that's incorrect in Spanish. I know sometimes people use the word e in numbers in Spanish, but when we're talking about dates, and specifically years, you don't say the number like that. 2021 in Spanish is 2021. So that's something important to know, guys. Big numbers in Spanish, because usually years are big numbers. So yeah, if you say in Spanish el año 2021, that means the year 2021, people might understand you. Spanish speakers will be like okay with that. They will understand. But if you want to be grammatically correct, correctly, or you want to say things correctly, grammatically speaking, then you have to say 2021. Okay. Great questions, William, or great question, and also I love the word ronronear. That's a good one. Que es solicité un trabajo el 2 de febrero del 2021. Okay, some people can say sometimes de 2021, you know, like instead of having del, they say de 2021, but that sounds a bit incomplete. I would say del 2021. And also, guys, something important to mention is that the days of the week in Spanish and months, all of those words are masculine, okay? El domingo, for example. Let me show you right here. El domingo, el lunes, el martes, el miércoles, el jueves, el viernes, and el sábado. So all of these days are masculine, all of that masculine. And also the months are masculine. El mes de. So you won't say el enero, el febrero. You would say more like el mes de enero. Let me just see if I can. I'm just gonna, let's see if I can add that there. You can't see it for some reason, but I think I know what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I'm gonna change this date, or I can just do this and then duplicate just the last one. Okay, so you can say el mes de febrero, el mes de febrero, okay, del 2021, or you can say that, del 2021, or el mes de junio, el mes de junio del 2021. So please don't say el junio del 2021, because that doesn't make any sense. You gotta be specific. You have to say el mes de junio, and you're referring to the month, June specifically, okay? So yeah, el mes de junio, el mes de diciembre, el mes de agosto, and that is masculine. All the months are masculine, but don't forget to say el mes de, okay? And yeah, so let's see. What I'm gonna do, let's do like, I'm gonna delete this, and I'm going to change the numbers on the first date. And then, guys, you are gonna tell me, if you want, you are going to tell me the date that I'm referring to, okay? So let's say I'll change this to that. I'm gonna look at the calendar. I don't think I need that, but yeah, why not? Let's do change that to that, and like that. Okay, so what's the date there, guys? Do you know? You don't have to tell me the day of the week if you don't want to. I can change this to the day that is el 5 de, what's the month, what's the 8th month? Okay. Okay. William is saying 5 de agosto del 2021. Exactly. So the month is August. Agosto del 2021. 5 de agosto del 2021. Good job. Good job, guys. Excellent. William, you did a great job. Also, well, KS guessed the month correctly. Linda also is saying almost right. Agosto has a different spelling, but you almost got it. Good job, Linda. Sam's Kirks, 5 de julio del 2021. Almost. We were talking about agosto. Agosto. 5 de agosto or el 5 de agosto del 2021. So you can have el at the beginning of the date as well. Excellent. Okay. So let's just change this to a different date. Let's do that. I don't know if that one has 31 days. Just gonna check. No, it doesn't. So, okay, let's change it to that. Okay, so what is the date, guys? What's the date right there? Well, I don't need a 0 here. That's we don't have more than 100, more than 12 months. Okay, so do you guys know the date? I see William. William is saying 30 de noviembre del 2021. Okay, I see Linda too is saying 30 de noviembre del 2021. Perfect. Perfect. That's perfect, Linda. William, you just missed del 2021. Del, that word. Although you can say that as well, but to me it sounds more complete to say del 2021. Bruce, hello Bruce McCormick. 30 of November 2021. Okay, great. Sam's Kirks 30 de noviembre del 2021. Perfect. William, yeah, that's correct, William. KS es 30 de noviembre del 2021. Almost perfect, KS. Good job. Good job, guys. Yes, that's correct. So, essentially, we're talking about el 30 de noviembre. Oops, that's a long date. 30 de noviembre del 2000, el 30 de noviembre del 2021. Perfect, guys. Okay, let's do one more example and then you can ask any questions if you have any about this topic. Okay, so let's see. Let's see. Okay. Let's do that. That one. That one, guys. That's the last one. If you guys want me to do a lesson about numbers in Spanish, just let me know and we can do that. I think it's a good, it would be a good lesson for sure. I don't know if I have lessons. I don't know if I have lessons about numbers. I don't think so, but we can talk about numbers in Spanish, the spelling and all of that. But man, you're doing a great job. Okay. William Lopez says 11 de abril del 2021. Perfect. Perfect, William. Good job. Sam Skirks, el 11 de abril del 2021. That's amazing. Good job, Sams. Linda Lead says el 11 de abril del 2021. Perfect. That's perfect. Perfect, Linda. KS, 11 de abril del 2021. Perfect. You guys, all of you did a great job. And also Bruce McCormick, Bruce says 11 de abril del 2021. 2021. Almost, Bruce. Almost. Great job. Okay, so yeah, William is correct. Sams is correct. Linda is correct. And KS as well. Bruce, almost. Almost, Bruce. But great job as well. KS also says, me gustaría unas lecciones en números. KS would like some lessons about numbers in Spanish. Okay, I'm gonna add that to the list for sure. Thank you, KS. So, yeah, that's the date. El 11 de abril del 2021. Okay, great. So you guys nailed it. That's amazing. I love it. Okay, so yeah, essentially that's how you say dates in Spanish. Do you guys have any questions about dates that you would like to just ask? Maybe I have the answer to your questions. Or I don't know, guys, if you have any questions, because I think we talked about that, but there are maybe some details that you would like to know. But yeah, remember, día, mes y año. Día, mes y año. And it's not a big deal. I mean, in English, it's a bit different because you have month, day, and then the year. But if you switch just día and mes, or day and the day and the month, if you switch that, that's like an easy switch. And that's what you need to know about dates in Spanish. Día, mes, and año. Of course, you need to know the days of the week, the months, and essentially a lot of numbers in Spanish. But I think we can talk about numbers in a different lesson. But I think you nailed it. Yeah, totally. Absolutely. Okay, Linda says, say somebody says 2021. Is that normal? 2020. Say somebody says 2020. 2021. Is that normal? Do you mean that they write the year like that? 2021? If so, it's maybe an informal way to say that, the year, 2000. If you use numbers and letters and you have like a weird mix of that, yeah, I think it could happen in Spanish. A lot of Spanish speakers play around with, writing stuff, and abbreviations and different things, just as in English. Yeah, we can do that. It's not grammatically correct, but you can do that if you want to send a message to your friend. I would just use the numbers, if anything. Yeah. But yeah, Linda. I think if somebody does that, I guess it's fine because you understand the year, but I don't think you will see it in, like, I don't know, some important paperwork. You won't see that. I don't think you will see that. You would see either numbers or words. But yeah, if you have a mix of that, it's a more informal thing to do, I would say. But it's not like, oh, you should never do that. Because if you're chatting with your friend, if you're sending a text message and you send something like that, they will understand. Or if you get something like that, you will understand. But it's not that common. I would say it's not that common, but it happens. It could happen for sure. Yeah, that's a great question, Linda. Thank you. Okay, so that's it, guys. I don't know if you have any more questions about that. But yeah, years in Spanish. Oh, I wish in Spanish it was more normal to say 2021, like 2021. But no, usually you say the whole number, 2021. So yeah, it's a bit tricky. Actually, Spanish speakers who are learning English, including me when I was learning English, I had issues with that because I knew a lot of people would say the year, like two numbers, 2021. But in Spanish, because you don't have that, it's so weird to us that somebody refers to a year like that, 2021, as opposed to 2021. But I got used to it, and yeah, I can switch between the two, so I can say the year 2021 or el año 2021 with no problem. So that's the beauty of learning a second language for sure. Okay, William Lopez says, how would people ask for your birth date in Spanish? Could you please show us an example of how to preguntar y responder a eso? Okay, so that's an excellent question, William. Okay, so if we're talking about birthdays, right? Or if you have to fill out a form and they tell you, please tell, just say your birthday or write your birthday down. So usually if you're filling out a form, you would do something like this, just as in English as well. You would have día, mes, and año. So usually forms say like the forms tell you we need day, month, and year, okay? And that's very clear. When you're filling out a form, it's pretty straightforward, so you won't have an issue, but usually you will have to use numbers, okay? And if somebody asks you about your birthday, like tell me your birthday, you could say, let's say that you were born in, I don't know, 1985. El 11 de abril de 1900. That's a weird thing because el 11 de abril de 1900. When we're talking about specific years, I just noticed that, guys. Sometimes you say del, for example, the years 2000s. You use del 2000, del 2021, del 2020, and so on. But if you're talking about the 1900s, you say de 1985. So that's something really like a tiny detail, but it's good to know. Del año 1985. De 1985. So I guess in some situations you really have to use de. In some other situations, like if you're talking about the 2000s years, then you have to use del. Weird thing. So if someone asks you, ¿cuándo es tu cumpleaños? Okay, I'm just gonna write the question here. ¿Cuándo es tu cumpleaños? ¿Cuándo es tu cumpleaños? Okay, you can say mi cumpleaños. So I'm gonna see if I can fit that here. Mi. Oh boy, what's going on here? Okay, so I could say mi cumpleaños es. Mi cumpleaños es el 11 de abril. Okay, so one important thing that you can do or say in Spanish is just the day and the month. El 11 de abril, okay? But in some situations, maybe you are at a I don't know, at a governmental office or something like that, they will ask also the year. So you can say de 1985, for example. Mi cumpleaños es, or that's something important. If it's a more formal thing, they will ask you, ¿cuál es la fecha? ¿Cuándo es tu cumpleaños? Fecha de nacimiento, okay? So let's say first that you have a friend and the friend asks you, ¿cuándo es tu cumpleaños? Okay? So you can say, mi cumpleaños es el 11 de abril, okay? You don't have to say the year, because you don't say that when someone is asking you about your birthday, right? You just say it's, I don't know, January 15th or something like that. But in Spanish, you will follow the order, day and month, okay? Don't include the year. You don't have to. So you can say, mi cumpleaños es el 11 de abril, okay? That's it. But someone could ask you more formally, ¿cuál es tu fecha, or su, that's more formal, fecha de nacimiento? Wow, that's a long question. Let me just make that smaller. Oops. Okay, so this question is more if someone from the government, I think you can see something there. There you go. That's better. That question is asked if you're at an office, okay? Because sometimes they need to know your birth date, like you say, William. So if someone is asking you, ¿cuál es su fecha de nacimiento? You can say, mi fecha de nacimiento es, okay, el 11 de abril de 1985, okay? So that is the answer. You can say, mi fecha de nacimiento es el 11 de abril de 1985. And that happens in Spanish. Sometimes you have to say your birth date in a more formal way. That is called fecha de nacimiento. And you can say, mi fecha de nacimiento es el 11 de abril de 1985. If you were born in the 2000s, then you can say del 2000, del 2000. Okay, so that's very important. Like when you're talking about the 1900s, something like that, you don't need del, you use de. Oops, not a period there. But if you're talking about the years 2000s, then you need del. It's something peculiar, something different, but essentially that's how it works in Spanish. I don't know if that answers your question, William. But yeah, you can say mi fecha de nacimiento es, or if that's a formal way to say your birthday, or you can say mi cumpleaños es el, and then you say the date. Okay? So Linda Lead asks, say Spanish people living in US, how do they go about with the US date system? Well, I'm not entirely sure, but people that live in the US, Spanish speakers that live in the US, they adapt to what is used in America. So they have to do the switch. It's confusing at first, but they have to just adapt to the system. So they usually use the US system. So yeah, it's confusing at times for people. It was for me because I live in a country where most people speak English. So yeah, that switch, you have to do a lot of different things because, just besides learning the language, you have to learn a bunch of other things like expressions, like how to fill out forms. That's a whole thing, right? So yeah, it's very, very interesting. That's a great question, Linda. But yeah, Spanish speakers need to adapt to whatever they have to do in different countries. Yeah. Linda Lead says 1700s. Okay, so if let's say your birthday is in the year I don't think that is if we're talking about history and all of that, if your question is about should we use del or de in this situation, de 1712. So it looks like you use del when you're talking about the year 2000 and up, okay? And if you're talking about 1700s, 1800s, 1600s years, then it's very likely that you have to say de 1712, okay? So yeah, you can use, obviously you use dates when you talk about history, when you talk about your birthday, when you want to know what day is today, when you want to know the date, today's date and whatnot. So yeah, it's very important, guys, to learn how to say this in Spanish, because you're gonna have to say it. If you're speaking the language, you're gonna have to say dates in Spanish. So that's a great questions, Linda. Yeah, totally. PC Hint, hola, PC Hint, and I gotta go, guys. It's almost an hour already. But welcome, PC Hint. ¿Cómo va todo? Todo va excelente. ¿Cómo te va a ti? ¿Qué es? ¿Cómo decir sobre eventos pasados? That is, I think I'm going to do a lesson about that, history and all of that. But essentially, you use, if you're talking about dates, you use the same structure, día, mes, and año, and that's it. That's it. For example, this date that I have here, el 11 de abril de 1712. So it's pretty much the same thing. But I can talk about that if there's anything else to talk about dates and history in Spanish. Yeah, I can do another lesson about that. Thank you, KS. William Lopez says, muchas gracias y disculpa por tener que alterar el tamaño de las letras. Haha. That's okay, William. That's okay. Yeah, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. I love that you guys are asking questions, because they're little details and just questions about something that I probably missed, and you can just ask, and I'm gladly answering as much as I can. Okay, KS McDonald's fue fundada el 15 de mayo 90 y 40. Okay, I see. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I'm going to talk about history and dates in Spanish. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, events and all of that. Yeah, why not? Okay, well, thank you so much, KS, and all of you guys. You are amazing. Thank you for tuning in. And remember to subscribe and also click on the bell icon so you can get notified every time I live stream. And as I said before, you can visit smlessons.com for more free Spanish lessons. If you want to donate directly to this channel, you can do that. You just need to go to smlessons.com and just check that out. All the links to donate and download free stuff, and just to go to smlessons.com. All that info is in the video description down below. Remember to give this video a like if you liked it, because that helps me a lot. Have a lovely evening. And PC Hint is asking, ¿mañana vas a ser directo? Yeah, tomorrow we're gonna have a podcast episode, so stay tuned. And remember to click on the bell icon so you can get notified every time I live stream, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in again. Take care of yourselves. Have a great evening, morning. I don't know where you are, but thank you so much for being here. Take care of yourselves. Be safe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.